Hello and welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here a pen, and this is a WAHL Eversharp pen. So this is a pen that I was able to pick up at the London International Pen Show in October 2019. I actually borrowed this pen from a good friend, John Foy at St John's Pens, and I'm looking just to do a very brief review. So this pen will be going back to John. I'd like to thank him for providing this pen for review. So the first thing I'm going to say is I'm not going to ink the pen up, and I'm not going to do a writing sample with it. And I know that that might disappoint a few of you, but this is not my pen. So I am going to respect the owner's beliefs on the pen, and I'm just going to do just a bit of a brief review. So as I mentioned, this is the WAHL Eversharp. Now, this is one of the Magnificent 7 pens. So there was a Magnificent 7 set from the WAHL Eversharp, or the revived WAHL Eversharp from Sid Seppestein. And this is one of those pens, and this is called the Saffron. And it's actually quite a lovely material. It's quite a different material. It's a celluloid material, and it's an OMAS celluloid. But you can see here that the finish on this pen is actually quite nice. The celluloid actually is quite sort of picturesque, really, when you rotate the pen. So let me do a little bit more of a zoom in, and you can see here that this really is quite a stunning celluloid there. So one thing I would say is it's probably not everybody's cup of tea, but you can see here you have the WAHL Eversharp medallion, and then you have the WAHL Eversharp clip, which is actually a very small clip, and it's really going back to the vintage clips that you would see on a lot of vintage pens, although this is an oversized pen. And you can see actually the clip doesn't start near the top, it starts halfway down the pen. Then you have the Greek keyband, which was really something that you saw a lot on OMAS pens, and you actually have two separate bands either side of that. And then you have the body here of the pen, and it's quite a cylindrical pen. Like, it doesn't taper down really in terms of the cap. The body does slightly towards the end, and that actually reminds me a little bit of a Conway Stewart Churchill. Now, you do have this sort of black end finial, and it does have a hole in it. So if I actually unscrew this, it's actually quite tight to actually grab hold of, especially if you have very, very big fingers. But if you unscrew it, what you'll find is that you can then pull the pneumatic filling mechanism out, or the tube. You can see here it's actually engraved quite nicely there with, again, the Greek keyband. But the idea is that you push this in and you put your finger over the hole, very similar to the Armando Simoni Club Bologna extra pens. You push it down and then you let go, and then you'll get a rush of air, and then the ink will just rush into the pen. You can do that a couple of times, and then you just screw that back down, which I'm going to do here. So this pen has not been inked at all. Let me unscrew the cap, and what you'll see here is the WAHL Eversharp nib, and WAHL Eversharp call this a Superflex nib. It's an 18 karat gold. Now, there are some that would come with a 14 karat gold nib, but this is an 18 karat gold. And then you can see the feed there as well. It's quite a chunky feed as well. The section is actually quite nice. You can see here in the size of my hand, the pen actually fits very well. You can post these pens, but like with most, they become a little bit of a wand, so I'm not going to do that. But it has a number 8 size nib on it, and this is a Bock made nib, just like the Armando Simoni Club Bologna extra nibs, which are the Magic Flex. These are called the Super Flex nib. So It's effectively the same nib, 18 karat gold as well, just a different laser etching or engraving there on the nib. But for me, this is a nice size pen and I do like it. So let's do a size check. We'll do a weight and then we'll do a comparison with some other pens. So the length of the pen is about 148 millimeters in length. The cap is about 70 millimeters in length, and then we'll do a check from the tip of the nib, and we can see then how long this pen really is. It's looking at around about 142 millimeters in length, which is actually sort of an oversized pen. So I think from that perspective, I think it really is a nice length pen. I think let's do a weight check. So I mentioned this pen isn't inked up. So it's 58, just over 58.5 grams capped. And then the size, or the weight I should say, of the pen without the cap is 42.31 grams. So that is quite a weighty pen. I have had and do have pens that are a lot more weightier than that, but for me, I actually find this actually to be a nice weight of pen. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with some other pens. So from left to right, we have an Armando Simone Club. This is a Bologna Extra Africa. We have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra, and this is the Arco Verde with the gold trim and also with the rhodium trim. We have an Armando Simone Club Bologna Extra Arco Brown. We have a WAHL Eversharp. This is the Decoband Oversize, and this is the Saffron. We have a WAHL Eversharp Decoband, and this is the Oversize again, and this is the gold seal. We have a Scribo or Scrittura Bolognese, and this is the feel, and this is in the Verde Prato. And then we have another Scribo feel in the Verde Bosco. And then we have a Montegrappa Extra 1930 Shiny Lines Dove. And then last but not least, we have a Leonardo, and this is the Mediterraneo, which is a celluloid with a piston filling and a gold nib. So what do I like about this and what do I not like about it? Well, I like the length of the pen. I like the weight of the pen. I like that it's celluloid as well. I think that these pens are made to quite a good quality, just like the Armando Simone Club Bologna Extras. And for me, this is a really nice looking pen. And I've been looking at some WAHL Eversharps for some time now. I still really haven't found the right ones, but this for me is still a gorgeous pen. So I'm really glad that I was able to get this on loan from John at St John's Pens and just be able to sort of do a review of this. So I think other than just showing you a few extra close-ups there, I think this wraps up this mini review. Hopefully I will get some WAHL Eversharps at some point in the near future, and I'll be able to do full reviews and writing samples with them. So that's it. That's the WAHL Eversharp Decoband Oversize, and this is the Saffron version, and this pen was in the Magnificent 7. So thanks for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.